All right, ready to sound like a total rock star in your next presentation on AI and education.
I'm all ears. Hit me with it.
We've got the inside scoop, the latest research from these absolute rock stars in the field, Doctors Maggie Mosher, Lisa Dieker, and Rebecca Hines.
I've heard those names are doing some really groundbreaking work.
Yeah, seriously, cutting edge stuff. And what I find really fascinating is how they connect their research to the actual day-to-day reality of teachers in the classroom.
Especially, and they emphasize this, for special education teachers who are, let's be honest, juggling about a million things at once.
Right, it's like they're running a three-ring circus some days, trying to meet so many different needs.
And that's where the potential of AI comes in.
See, when I think AI, I still picture like robots and spaceships.
Jetsons.
Exactly. But what these researchers point out is that artificial intelligence, it's not some futuristic fantasy. It's been around for ages.
It has.
Think about it. Those old educational robots some of us might remember from, way back when.
Oh, like Logo, where you could program that little turtle to move around the screen.
Exactly. That was many people's first brush with programming, even if we didn't realize it at the time.
It's true. I spent hours trying to get that turtle to draw a perfect square.
And now we're talking AI that can personalize a student's entire learning experience,
Right.
like analyzing everything from their reading patterns to, get this, their emotional state during a lesson.
Wow. Okay, that's next level.
It's mind-blowing how far things have come. And, Doctors Mosher, Dieker, and Hines, they argue that this rapid pace of development, it demands a whole new approach to how we train teachers.
So not just teaching them how to use the latest gadget, but like really grappling with how AI changes the whole game of education.
Exactly. We need to be equipping teachers with, almost like a future-proof toolkit. The ability to adapt and innovate as AI becomes more sophisticated.
To think critically about its applications, right? Not just blindly accepting whatever the algorithm spits out.
Which brings us to another big takeaway from their research.
Yeah.
It's not all sunshine and robots, They paint a pretty stark picture of the challenges facing teachers today, especially teacher burnout.
Yeah, that's a real issue. And it's not just limited to education, right?
True, but these researchers, they zero in on how AI, if we use it right, can actually help alleviate some of that burden, especially for special education teachers who are already, like we said, totally stretched thin.
Okay, so how? Give me the AI solution for an overloaded teacher.
Picture this AI grading those late-night essays.
Wait, really? That's a thing.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
And not just grading, AI generating IEP goals based on a student's individual needs, even translating languages in real time during a parent-teacher meeting.
Hold on, stop. Are we talking about the future, or is this something that's actually possible right now?
It's closer than you think. There are already AI-powered platforms. I mentioned one called Report Genie that can streamline all that IEP reporting and progress monitoring, freeing up teachers to,
Actually teach.
Exactly. It's like having a tireless assistant who's always on call. But, and they're very clear about this, AI is not a magic bullet. We can't just throw technology at a problem and expect it to magically disappear.
Right. Human oversight is still key.
Totally. Making sure these AI tools are used ethically, responsibly, to support and enhance, not replace, that crucial teacher-student relationship.
Which brings us to another really important point that these researchers make. This isn't just about making life easier for teachers. It's about equity.
And when they say equity, they're really talking about how AI has the potential to level the playing field for all students, but especially those with disabilities.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How so?
Well, they talk about, for example, a student with dyslexia who's using AI-powered reading tools that can, adjust the text difficulty on the fly.
No more struggling to keep up in class because you learn a little differently.
It's like having a personalized tutor whispering in your ear who's always there to provide support and scaffolding exactly when they need it. Game-changing, right?
Totally. What other cool projects are these researchers excited about? I'm ready for more AI magic.
Okay, this one's called IKNOW. Hold on to your hats because they're using XR technology.
XR, as in virtual reality.
Think even more immersive than that.
Yeah.
They're creating these incredibly realistic scenarios where students can actually practice social skills in a safe, judgment-free space.
So it's not just about, memorizing social rules. It's about actually applying them in a way that feels real and relevant.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that's huge, especially for, say, a student with autism who might find those social situations really tricky to navigate.
They talk about students being able to practice things like asking someone to join a game or dealing with a disagreement, all within this like virtual world where they can experiment with different approaches, see the impact of their choices, and build confidence without the fear of,
Real world consequences.
it's like giving students the tools to become social detectives, figuring out how to read those cues and interact in a way that feels natural and authentic.
And AI can personalize those experiences for each student's unique needs and learning style. It's
It
amazing.
really is. All right, ready for another project that's pushing the boundaries of AI in education.
Hit me.
This one's called Raise.
Raise. Okay. What's so special about that? So Raise, it uses robots.
Robots. Okay, now we're really talking science fiction.
Well, they're using these robots as social partners to help students with autism develop their social skills.
Robots as social partners. I mean, it makes sense in a way. Kids these days, they're practically born with a tablet in their hands.
Right. They're totally comfortable with technology. And what the researchers found is that for some students, especially those with autism, robots can actually be less intimidating than practicing social interaction with, another person.
Oh, interesting. Because the robot is so predictable.
Exactly. It provides this safe and controlled space to explore those social interactions, to experiment without the same kind of, I don't know, social pressure or judgment that can come with human interaction.
And robots, they're infinitely patient. A student can practice the same skill over and over, and the robot's not going to get tired or frustrated.
Exactly. No judgment from a robot. And that can do wonders for a student's confidence.
I bet. Because like, the stakes are lower, so they feel more comfortable taking risks, making mistakes, all those things that are essential for learning.
That's exactly it. It's about creating a supportive learning environment where every student feels empowered to grow. And this is just one example, right? We're really just scratching the surface of what AI can do in education, especially for students who learn differently.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. It's like we're on the verge of this whole new era of personalized learning.
We are. And the best part is, it's not just about the students. The researchers, they see AI as having the potential to transform how teachers teach as well.
Oh, interesting. So not replacing teachers, but like making them even better at what they do.
Exactly. For example, they talk about how AI could be used to help teachers identify learning difficulties with even greater accuracy and speed than they can now.
So instead of just noticing that a student's struggling, AI could pinpoint the root cause of their difficulties.
Right. Imagine AI analyzing not just a student's test scores, but also like their micro expressions during a lesson.
Wait, their facial expression?
Yeah. Or even things like their mouse movements during online activities, their tone of voice when they ask for help. All those subtle cues that might reveal something about how they're learning.
Wow, it's like AI could uncover these hidden learning roadblocks that even the most experienced teacher might miss.
And then here's the really cool part. AI could provide the teacher with personalized recommendations for each student.
Like, hey, maybe try this teaching strategy, or this kid might benefit from this type of intervention.
Exactly. Tailored lesson plans, specific learning strategies, even alerts to potential issues before they become major obstacles. It's like having an army of virtual teaching assistants, each one laser-focused on a single student's success.
That would be incredible, freeing up teachers to really focus on what they do best, connecting with their students. That human element of teaching that's so irreplaceable.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how sophisticated our technology becomes, we can't forget that education is ultimately about human connection.
It's about those aha moments, the spark of curiosity, the joy of discovery.
Absolutely. And the researchers believe that AI, if we use it thoughtfully and ethically, can actually help us create more of those moments for more students.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about AI personalizing learning for students, but what about for teachers?
Oh, you mean in terms of professional development?
Yeah, exactly. Could AI personalize the way teachers learn and grow throughout their careers?
100%. The researchers, they envision a future where instead of, sitting through these generic
They're
workshops.
sometimes a total snooze fest.
Right, totally. But imagine instead, teachers have access to AI-powered training modules that are tailored to their interests, their goals, like their own personalized professional learning playlist.
Not wasting time on irrelevant content or feeling overwhelmed by information overload. Okay, I'm sold. What else is on this futuristic AI education menu?
Get this, they talk about AI-powered virtual classrooms.
Hold on, like a flight simulator, but for teachers.
Exactly. Imagine a virtual classroom where a teacher can practice different scenarios, everything from managing challenging behavior to delivering a killer lesson and receive real-time feedback from AI.
Wow, that would be an incredible tool for new teachers, especially who are still, finding their feet in the classroom. They can make mistakes and learn from them in this safe, consequence-free environment.
And for experienced teachers, these virtual classrooms could provide a space to really refine their skills, experiment with different pedagogical approaches, new classroom management techniques, all without the pressure of a real classroom.
It's like giving teachers their own personal training ground where they can play, experiment, innovate, and grow.
And become the best possible versions of themselves as educators.
This all sounds incredibly promising, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, are there any downsides? What do we need to be cautious about as we venture further into this AI-powered future of education?
It's a great question, and you're right to ask it. And the researchers, they don't shy away from those tough questions either.
So where do we even begin? How do we prepare teachers for this AI-powered future that's, right around the corner?
Well, they emphasize that we can't just wait for it to happen to us. We need to be proactive.
Okay, so be proactive. What does that look like in practice? Are we talking about, teaching every teacher how to code?
Not necessarily coding, but definitely a new way of thinking about teacher training. They suggest this really interesting idea of weaving what they call AI literacy into the very fabric of how we prepare teachers.
AI literacy. Okay, so not just a one-off workshop on how to use the latest gadget.
Exactly. It's got to be more holistic than that. It's about making AI a core component of teacher education, right alongside things like pedagogy and classroom management. Imagine future teachers learning about lesson planning alongside, AI algorithms that can personalize those plans for each student.
So it's like bringing those two worlds together from day one.
Exactly. Or they talk about using AI-powered simulations to practice things like classroom management, but with AI student avatars that are actually responding in real time.
Whoa, that's next level. But I do wonder, we don't want these future teachers to become so reliant on AI
Right.
that they lose that human touch, that intuition that makes a great teacher, right?
100%. And the researchers, they echo that concern. It's not about blindly accepting whatever the AI spits out. It's about equipping teachers to question the AI's output, to be able to say, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't quite fit with what I'm seeing in my classroom.
To use their judgment and experience.
Precisely.
So it's really about finding that sweet spot where technology enhances but never replaces the human element of teaching.
Which at the end of the day is really what it's all about.
Because no matter how cool and sophisticated these AI tools become, it's that human connection, that teacher-student bond that really makes the difference.
Couldn't agree more. And, the researchers are very clear that this is not just a one-way street.
What do you mean?
Well, as teachers are using these AI tools, they'll be generating a ton of data, right? And that data can then be used to refine the AI algorithms themselves.
So it becomes this feedback loop where both teachers and AI are constantly learning and improving.
Exactly. It's a pretty exciting prospect, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
But it also comes with a lot of responsibility, I imagine.
For sure. Which is why the researchers are so adamant that we need to be having these conversations now, before things move too far too fast.
So that we're shaping the future of AI in education, not just letting it happen to us.
Exactly. And that's something that everyone has a stake in: teachers, parents, policymakers, even students themselves.
And speaking of shaping the future, the researchers leave us with this really thought-provoking question. How might AI fundamentally change the role of the teacher in the long term? What does a teacher even look like in this AI-powered future?
Right. Will AI eventually become more than just a tool? Could it actually become like a co-teacher, a personalized learning guide for each student, or even, like they suggest, a curator of individualized educational pathways?
It's kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it, and a little bit daunting, to be honest.
It is. It is. But as we've seen in this deep dive, it's also incredibly exciting.
It is. There's so much potential here to create a more equitable, a more effective, and dare I say, a more joyful learning experience for all students.
And for teachers, too. Don't forget about the teachers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when teachers feel supported, when they have the tools and the time and the energy to really connect with their students, that's when the magic happens.
Preach. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So for all of you listening out there, I hope you feel as energized and inspired by this conversation as I do.
Because this isn't just some abstract, futuristic fantasy. This is happening right now. And the choices that we make today will determine what that future looks like.
So go out there, ask those tough questions, embrace those possibilities, and let's build that future together, one AI-powered lesson at a time.